Okay, and that should be good. Alright. This is nice. So, welcome back, guys. I almost hit start. It went that way. I'm pretty sure this is where I was. Yep, this is exactly where I was. Let me get my mouse off. It went that way! Leave it to me! At Ageha's signal, I ran ahead to block the cat's escape route. Says the cat. Ageha and I blocked the stray cat's paths and it searched for a third route. And there was... Kotori. There was Kotori, and she made an almost sickeningly cheerful smile. Now that's how to talk to a cat. Kotori dangles an anchovy, which captivates the cat. Oh, it's a tortoiseshell cat. I was apparently told I think it was a tortoiseshell cat. When I first got my hair done, someone I follow on Twitter said that my hair reminded me of a tortoiseshell cat. So that's it. That's interesting or amusing. However, as expected of a stray cat, it won't let down its guard easily. Himitsu Heiki. Secret weapon. Kotori nods and takes out a small fishing rod. Oh, here we go. An anchovy hangs on the end of the line. Dangle, dangle. Just like a blessing descending from heaven, the anchovy draws the stray cat's attention. With Kotori's skillful waving of the rod, she was almost literally reeling the cat towards her with the anchovy. Just as the cat reaches out its paw, Kotori times the pulling away of the anchovy so that the cat cannot reach it. It really was a little bit mean. Eventually, the cat, running out of patience, used its last resort. Jump! The cat jumped onto Kotori's lap all by itself. Amazingly, the cat settled into Kotori's arms. Saksen Daiseiko. I can't believe it fell for such a stupid plan. I felt like saying, "Come on, stray cat, you could do better than that." Kotori shows a side that we'd never seen before and smiles affectionately while stroking the cat. The cat seems like he didn't really enjoy being stroked, but he's focused on the large amount of anchovies nearby, so it looks like he's not planning on running away. Let me just pause the stream on the other thing, monitor thing. Ageha starts stroking him too. All girls like cats. Well, I'm pretty sure that's not necessarily true, but let's go with it. Is it okay if I stroke him too? So is this cat gonna be our third member? Or fourth member? So to anyone new who might be here, what had happened last time was that the student council vice president, I think, showed up to the garage where Amane does her club activities, and as it turns out, she wound up pretty much threatening to shut down the club. And so we needed to gather enough members, and Kotori is insistent on not joining because she still intends to drop out or withdraw. So maybe this cat could be our next member. But I like cats too. This seems a bit unfair. Next is... I opened the notebook to check. Things I want to do. It's the list of bullet points that Kotori has written in her notebook. We are now in the middle of clearing Kotori's list of things she still has left to do. As Ageha and I look at the notebook, Kotori looks at us sideways, but not with suspicion. How did this situation occur? To answer that, we need to go back to this morning. Alright, are we doing a flashback? Yeah, we are. Let's go. This morning, I was in two minds as to whether or not I should return the withdrawal notice that I picked up to its rightful owner. Of course, you should give dropped items back to the owner, but if I did that, it seems that she would disappear from here, so I didn't give it back. If that's what she wants to do, I have no reason to stop her, but I was hesitant for some reason. So, I was walking back and forth along the hallway, but Kotori, who was wearing her uniform, poked her head out from her room. She was furtively checking the situation outside. And is that Kane hosting the stream? Yes, it is. Kane, thank you so much for the host. What is up, my man? I know I mentioned that we'd call in DM, but who knows, I might not go on for too long. I'm not sure if you need to be in bed early for tomorrow, but I'm sure we'll definitely find time to talk, my man. As her eyes met, she slams the door shut. Why is she acting so suspiciously? Kotori is always doing something suspicious, but there is definitely something behind her behavior just now. I concealed myself in the dining hall for a while. By the way, do you like my hat? It kind of like, sort of matches the hat that you were wearing for your stream. You know, it was like black and blue. Then it's like black and red. They're both snapbacks. Yeah. I did that on purpose. I wait 10 minutes. Hat appears from the little door at the bottom of Kotori's bedroom door. Hat took a look around the entranceway, then came into the dining hall. What? Shh. Hat goes back to Kotori's room. What does she mean by alright? Kotori came sneaking out of her room. She took a peek into the dining hall just in case, and I hid behind the counter. When she says, that guy, it feels like she's talking about me. Kotori is wearing her uniform, but she isn't carrying her bag. In the entranceway, she opens up her notebook and looks inside. I sneaked up behind her. Are you going to skip school again today? My boy. It's time. Okay. We out. Boy. Kotori jumped, let out a scream, and threw the notebook. That's why you should stop sending a duck to scout for you. Oh shit. That's a fact. Oh god. As I pick up the notebook that she dropped, I look at the open page. Things I want to do. This is a page I saw before. Could it be that you are planning to do all this before you quit school? Seems like I was spot on. I handed back the notebook. Then I follow Kotori as she is about to leave. I'm going to help. It must be tough by yourself, right? Kotori looks at me like I'm an idiot. While we step in front of the door, the doorbell rings. That was a doorbell? It sounded like a freaking buzzer for like a wrong answer on a quiz show. Damn, did you hear that? I swear that thing sounded like Arr. Who could it be at this time? Ah, it's my girl. You like the word. Ageha. What did you come here for? Ageha pulls me towards her and whispers into my ear. So she came all the way here to ask Kotori to go to school with her? Bullseye. Yeah, the truth is that... How should I explain this? Kotori, I'm just gonna borrow your notebook. I go back to Kotori and take the notebook. Using that, I explained the situation to Ageha. I explained that today she wants to finish the things I want to do list that is written in this notebook. I don't tell her about Kotori's plan to quit school. Ageha groans a little as she looks at the list. And that's how we got wrapped up in this situation. Alright. That is how Ageha and I ended up going with Kotori, against her wishes, to clear the things remaining on the list one by one. By the way, as far as us urgently searching for members for the club goes, last night we came up with a possible prospect. That's why we're going with Kotori. Said Kotori while stroking the cat, but we don't listen. Yeah, we all skip it now. Ageha pointed and read. Stroke the head of the big dog in the neighborhood. It's really scary, but it might be unexpectedly friendly. If possible, I'd like to ride around on its back. Take it from Damn. From the list. The Ito family are rich and have a well-known and very large dog called Pedigree that roams around freely in their garden. When we were kids, it was rare to see such big dogs, and we would often watch him lumbering around their spacious lawn. I'd like to ride around on its back? So far, I have lifted up Kotori on 2 occasions. Both times she was light as a feather. Well, perhaps that's exaggerating slightly, but she was really light. Pedigree is a Saint Bernard. They're pretty huge. While seriously considering Kotori's silly idea, we headed towards the Ito's house. A dog named Pedigree. Yes. Oh man. Asekaita, said Ageha as she put the baggage down on the grass. Today is dry and sunny, and the temperature isn't that high. It's quite hot in the sunlight, but there's a nice breeze. Here, I throw a sports drink to Ageha.
Oh, thank you.
There's one for you too, Kotori. I take some orange juice from the convenience store bag and pass it to Kotori. Arigato. Do you want to sit down here? Have no muscle. Ageha, give me a hand, would you? These line jokes are going to continue for a while. Ageha, who looks like she's enjoying her sports drink, gets up and comes over. I want to put you down here. I leave, lifting up Kotori to Ageha and tell her how to do it, while I give a hand from the side. Kotori sits down on the grass and looks comfortable as she stretches her back. Your butt was getting a bit hot. Double meanings. It seems that wheelchairs can get quite hot in the summer. The time is now 12:30. It's exactly the time for lunch break. We spread out the lunch boxes that we bought and the juice and snacks we bought from the convenience store. We don't have a sheet, but it feels like we're having a picnic. Oh. Oh. Rip. The VOD will be up later. I had made mine and Kotori's lunch boxes and Ageha had brought her own. Yo, spring rolls are actually pretty good. I don't know if you had it, but spring rolls are actually great. Yatta! Ageha looks like she's enjoying the burger that she got by trading as she wolfs it down. I could cook for you, though. Your mom's good at cooking, though, isn't she? Kotori's face seemed to say that she wasn't really suited to this situation as she quietly ate her lunch. However, she didn't look as irritated as she was before. Ageha either hadn't noticed or was pretending not to have noticed and carried on behaving the same way she always does. Damn, it's your first time? Yo, I skipped school so many times. Steal a wheelchair, said Ageha playfully. She seems quite excited about skipping school for the first time. If her mom finds out, she's totally gonna kick your ass. Ageha's mother doesn't hold back when she gives her daughters a kick in the ass. I've been kicked too, many times, like when Ageha and I got caught playing tricks. Those kicks are big, heavy, and painful. Okay, got it. She'd kick me too for something like this. I say that, but I don't want her to worry unnecessarily. We all look at the notebook. We managed to finish 5 of them this morning. As for pedigree, the Itos recognized Ageha and they let us into the garden. We weren't able to have her ride on his back, but Kotori gave Pedigree a big hug, so we counted that as a success. In the end, it was quite tough for her to roll around and play with him. Pedigree probably weighs more than Kotori. On top of that, he licked her all over her face and she looked like she was full of emotion. Ageha reads out from the list. Where is that? Kotori, who had suddenly gone red, drew a line through that entry with a red pen. Ageha whispers into her ear. Something was said to Kotori and now she's desperately trying to cover something up. What could it be? Patissier. Do you want to go there? That kind of place? It's not just a normal cafe? Ah. Pow! Kotori points at me. She's strongly denying it, but it's not like I really have any suspicions about it. Kotori had got red and was looking down. Well, I don't mind. Is that place expensive? That is a little steep.
本場仕込みのミルフィーユが看板メニューなんだけど、すんごい美味しいらしいよ。
ミルフィーユ。
そっちは一つ1300円ね。
Damn! For one cake? I guess it is in the same place as the supermarket that sells high-grade marbled meat for 29.80 yen for 100 grams. For doing the work of the dorm mother, I could get a small allowance from my mom, so next month will be okay.
だから違うって言ってんでしょうが。紅茶とケーキが美味しいお店だって、素敵なお店だって誰かが言ってるの聞いたから。別に男の子とデートしてみたいなんて言ってない。
デート!
言ってない。
It must be important, because he said it twice. I was overwhelmed by her vigor and nodded in agreement without saying anything.
はい、この話はおしまい。
As she one-sidedly dropped that subject, she used the pen to thoroughly blot out that entry. Blot the sun. It might have bled through to the other side of the page.
葵、残念そうな顔してない？
Do you want to go with me there? Huh? No, I don't.
甘いもの好きだもんね。
Yeah. I wouldn't get disappointed about something like that. Besides, did I really look disappointed? Oh, I never did. As a lesbian. Never. What's up, Shelby? We bought a lot of it because it felt like we were going on an excursion. While Ageha eats some prech snacks, she takes another look at the notebook after Kotori had finished blotting it out. Speaking of which, we were in the middle of talking about what to do next.
ねえ、これ何？
Ageha was looking at the entry at the number 1 spot on the list. It was written much bigger than the other entries. I want to pass through the passage of cloud. Damn, she got her sights set high. Yeah, I thought that was quite mysterious too. What is that?
さあ。
What do you mean, you don't know?
だってそれ書いたの私じゃないもの。
Pass through up airs, yep. Yeah, pass right through those up airs. You got air dodge. Answered Kotori while crunching the Pret snacks that Ageha had given her. Now that she mentioned it, the handwriting is different. Eat as much Haagen-Dazs as I want, and so on are written in nice, uniform writing. Compared to the meticulously neat handwriting, I want to pass through the passage of cloud was written in a way that seemed bold and spirited.
じゃあ誰が書いたの？
So only people who are bold and spirited can pass through cloud.
ノートの持ち主よ。私が見つけた時にはもう書いてあったの。
There are a few entries written in this unbridled fashion, and below are the neatly written entries. Kotori had added to it, continuing from what someone else had written. You found it? What do you mean?
私が飛び予想に来た時、部屋で見つけたの。
The Bouncing Fish Manor.
棚の隙間に隠してあったのよ。じゃあこれ、ハバネさんのノートじゃないんだ。ええ、多分前に住んでた子の日記よ。
When she says that it's a diary, I feel hesitant to just go ahead and open it. Had Kotori read it?
じゃあ誰かの日記の続きにハバネさんが書いたってこと？
Without thinking, Ageha and I both made a face like, why? While Kotori remained quiet. I don't think that it's because it would be a shame to waste the unused pages. Phone call, but... Actually, let me go get that so it'll stop ringing. Alright. There we go. The thing that I was more concerned with was... I want to pass through the passage of cloud? Hey. What is a passage of cloud? If it's clouds we're talking about... I look up. There is a blue sky and a few clouds, and then a giant windmill. The windmill blades moving around slowly in the wind look a lot like the wings of a glider. Get our blood taken. My eyes are still flickering. The last thing we did was complete Lady and Silver Gun, the final entry on the list. If you're wondering what that is, it's a shoot-'em-up game, and until just now we were at the video game arcade where we finally completed it by repeatedly using continues and taking turns. Because it was so hard, it made getting to the ending all the more impressive. I'm no good at shoot-em-ups. The best at this game was Ageha, then Kotori. So Ageha's good at shoot-em-ups. It seemed that Kotori had played it from time to time when she skipped school before. She must have gotten mad with the incredible difficulty of the game and said, "One day I will complete this game," and added that entry to the notebook, it seems. We had to spend 3,000 yen to complete it. Yeah. We'd also finished the entries that Kotori had written while we were at it. Bullet hell. Yep. The only one left was to pass through the passage of clouds. Since we didn't know what that meant, we had virtually cleared the whole list. I'm glad we finished before dinner. What's up? Kotori's expression seems dark. The same as Ageha, it looks like she feels unexpectedly disappointed now that it's all over, like it wasn't enough. Hopefully your mom won't find out about this. But Hotaru is quite serious. If she realizes that you hadn't gone to school, she might tell your mom, right? What? How could you? Are you gonna tell on me? She said jokingly and turned to face Kotori. She said with a smile and turned to leave. With a spring in her step, she walked up the gentle slope. Kotori went to say something, so Ageha stopped walking. Kotori looked down and faltered as she spoke. This time she looked like she was about to cry. Ageha waited for a little for Kotori to open her mouth, patiently. However, Kotori didn't say anymore. Something... Hang on. So I think the situation has been diffused somewhat.
一緒にやろうよ、スワーリング部。葵から聞いたよ。グライダーのこと詳しいんでしょ。ガレージに行くのいつも楽しみにしてたんでしょ。一緒にやったら絶対楽しいって。きっと毎日が今日みたいだよ。だからね。
Ageha closed her mouth and waited for a reply. There was no mistake that Kotori was in two minds. She was certainly interested in gliders, so I think that she would actually really like to join the soaring club. That's why now she might be able to express those feelings.
やらないって言ってるでしょ。どうして？どうしてもよ。あなたには関係ない。
Ageha's expression dropped at Kotori's blunt refusal.
どうしてそういう言い方になるかな。余計なこと聞いてくるからでしょ。そんなだからクラスでも浮いちゃうんだって思わない？
This time Kotori seemed irritated by Ageha's remark.
浮いてて悪かったわね。誰かさんみたいに八方美人じゃないだけよ。
Well, it seems that things at my place aren't the only areas where things are escalating.
八方美人ですって。
Hold it. Calm down, both of you. Why are you arguing all of a sudden? I step in so they can't ignore me. After we had such a fun day, let's just cut it. Whoa! Ageha pushed me aside like I was in her way. It's no good. It looks like she's quite pissed off about the kissing up comment.
この間のことはみんなが悪いって思うよ。あんな風に言われたらハバネさんが怒るのも当然だもん。けどハバネさんにだって悪いところがあったと思う。どこがよ。ほらその態度。
Ageha pointed her finger at Kotori's face as if to say, There! Irrefutable evidence!
挑戦的っていうかなんていうか。そんなだからみんなに誤解されちゃうんだよ。今日一緒に遊んだみたいにさ、もっと普通に打ち解ければいいじゃんか。親切にどうも別に頼んでないけど。何その言い方。あなたってほんと親切よね。は？知ってるんだから。私にやたらと話しかけてきたの先生に頼まれたからなんだって。
Faltering for a moment from hearing Kotori's words, Ageha stayed tight-lipped. Her cheeks went red.
私はそれとも私のことがかわいそうだから親切にしてくれてたの？そういうのもううんざりなのよ。
Kotori told her, and turned her wheelchair sideways.
さよなら。
Hey! With that, she left by herself. Ageha.
いいの。ハバネさんの言ったこと全部本当だから。
But that's not the reason why you did it though, is it? Aren't you also being misunderstood?
ごめん。もう帰るね。
Ageha, this time looking like she didn't want to talk, with trembling shoulders, climbed the gentle slope. I watched her from behind as she left, and then hurried back to the dormitory. Kotori! Hey, Kotori! Hat came out as if to protest about the noise. Hey, is your buddy in there? Get out of the way, will ya? I move Hat out of the way and take a peek into Kotori's room through the duck door. Damn, Hat's in the way, I can't see. Ah, Kanako, has she come back yet? Yeah, kind of. Can I ask you to prepare dinner? Please? She's going to blow up the whole kitchen.
れでみんなおしまい。せいせいしたわ。
That's not what it looks like, though. I call out to her, but without surprise, Kotori looks at me for a moment before quickly looking back at the lake. At night, the lake looks like a vast black mass of darkness lying sideways. On the other side is Windmill Hill, which looks beautiful when illuminated. Since she hadn't come back to the dormitory, I guessed that she might be here, and this is where I found her. What are you doing here? A self-assessment? I say it in a lighthearted way, but she doesn't answer. Let's go back. It's almost time for dinner. Kotori shook her head. You can't stay here, can you? Why not? She mumbled quietly as her cheeks quivered for a moment. What do you mean? It sounded like she was getting tearful. Kotori. Yes, that's true. You can't round off a fun day with an argument. For me, too, today was an unbelievably fun day. It was like going back to when I was a kid, playing stupid pranks from the morning until sunset. Right now, the thing that makes me feel a little pleased is the fact that I know that Kotori feels the same way. About Ageha. I didn't see the things that happened in the class, so I can't really say, but she's a simple person, so I don't think she would have done what the teacher asked if she didn't want to. However, even if she hadn't been asked, she's the type who would just do it anyway. That sometimes causes problems though, right? I said jokingly, and Kotori smiled just a little. And today, she wasn't asked to, but she skipped school with us, didn't she? That was the first time she had skipped school, and only stuck with us because that's how things turned out. She's not a bad person. Maybe she really thinks that she wants to be our friend. That's what I think. Even Ageha wouldn't go this far just for the sake of being kind. Hmm? Oh, are we finally going to... Are we finally going to get some backstory on this? So this is for you, Kane. You've been making all these leg jokes this whole time. Yo, I literally injured my knee. Like, I busted up my knee playing volleyball in high school. That was great. I actually was in a wheelchair. Like, they had to wheel me over to the nurse's office. And then I got sent home. Really? I imagine Kotori jumping up from the floor and launching an attack on the opponent's court. No doubt about it, she would have been brilliant. Spectacular. Damn. A step of as little as 5 centimeters is a huge obstacle for a wheelchair. Spicy.
一緒に遊べないんだから当然よね。
That can't be true. If they were your friends, they were your friends, they wouldn't care. They could still hang out with you. Saying that might just be oversimplifying things, though. At the very least, that is her actual experience of
あ
it.
る時ホームルームで私がみんなから孤立してるのに気づいた先生がこう言ったの。ハバネさんはかわいそうな子なんです。もっと仲良くしてあげましょう。すごいショックだった。自分がどんな境遇にいるのか思い知らされて、その後一人でこっそり泣いたわ。悔しくて情けなくて、そんな風に気を使われるのが嫌でしょうがなかった。
Kotori's hands were trembling as she held onto the hem of her skirt. It looked like the frustration of that time had come back to haunt her.
だからここへ来たの。完全バリアフリーの学校なら誰にも迷惑をかけず一人でやっていけるって。
At our school, Kotori can go there by herself and can get into it and out of the classroom without anyone's help.
けどやっぱりダメだった。学校って場所は一人でやっていけるようにはできてないのよね。
It's not just a physical problem. It's a social environment and you can't get by without being involved with other people.
おまけにタイヤがパンクしたら遭難の危機だし、一人でお風呂にも入れないんですもの。なんかもう疲れちゃった。
She murmured as she spoke and looked across to Windmill Hill on the other bank. The composed forms of the giant windmills seemed to have a calming effect on her. That would be pretty tiring, wouldn't it?
でしょ？私結構頑張った方だと思わない？
I do. I agreed from the bottom of my heart. I can't just say something simple like, try even harder.
ソアリング部の部員集めうまくいってるの？
It looks like we might be able to do something. I just hope we make it in time, though.
そう、よかった。あの変な先輩ずっと一人で頑張ってたんでしょ？途中で終わらせちゃかわいそうだもんね。私も一度でいいから飛んでみたかったの。あのグライダーで。
Kotori narrows her eyes as she speaks. She looks across to the sky above Windmill Hill. Hey, you, don't really want to quit school, do you?
そんなことないわ。お父さんやお母さんも心配してるし、私が学校辞めて家に帰れば喜んでくれる。
Kotori smiled when she said that, but to me it looked like she was forcing herself to smile. I sat next to Kotori and, just like her, looked at the view of the opposite bank. Before I came back to Kazugara, I was in the cycle racing club at the school really far from here. When I started to speak, she glanced at me and didn't say anything while she listened to me. There are sports scholarships for that too, you know? I trained desperately every day so that I would be exempt from paying tuition fees and in order to win races. The practice was seriously tough, but riding the bike felt good, so it didn't really feel like such hard work. Bicycle road races are incredibly tiring. In a big competition, you cycle 100 kilometers in one day.
100キロ。それはすごいわね。
It is, isn't it? Also, you have to go over hills on the way. Hill climbing is complete hell. While climbing, I always wanted to give up. But after climbing it, cycling down the hill feels amazing. I couldn't tell if Kotori was impressed or envious when she responded. That part is fun, so that's why I thought I'd try racing. In one competition, I came third.
すごいじゃない。それって全国大会だったの？
Top 3, boys. I nod with pride. Actually, that is one of the few things that I can be proud of. Anchan came to watch. I was really happy about that. But then I got greedy. In the first race of the second year, I had an accident. While in the middle of the downhill section, I was involved with another bike that had fallen down, of all things. In that situation, I was competing with several other bikes. I was in a hurry to get to the front and got too close to another bike. Then, the accident occurred. The other bike suddenly lost its balance and I got tangled up with it and hit the asphalt while traveling at high speed. With a bitter smile, I roll up the leg of my pants on the right leg and show her. With that accident, my life as a racer ended all too soon. The scar from the surgery is still fresh. Kotori looked at it and seemed to be lost for words. If it were her, she would be able to say that she got away with just this scar. With rehabilitation, I was able to walk again, and I now have no problems with everyday life, and the doctor said so too. But I can't ride a bike anymore. He needs 0. I nod quietly. I was a scholarship student, so it was hard for me to be there after I withdrew from school, but I could have stayed there. However, my friends from the cycle racing club were there and I would watch them practicing. While I watched them doing their best from afar, I was unable to live a normal life. My leg recovered after the rehabilitation, but instead I felt really depressed. I thought it would have been better if I couldn't move at all because I could have just given up on it. It was painful and difficult, and I didn't know how to handle all of my unfocused thoughts. That's why I came back. He used the concert's advantage. I ran away back to my hometown. Somehow I felt a sense of relief and I wrapped the story. Now that I think about it, this is the first time I've spoken to Kotori about this. I haven't even confided in Ageha and the others about this. The things that Kotori says to comfort me are actually really pessimistic. That must be how she really feels. However, I didn't tell her this because I wanted to be comforted. There are still things I want to say. There are some things that I realized from running away. There's nowhere else to go. There's nowhere left to run to. It's like a dead end, but I cannot see the way forward either. I thought I would regret it. Running away, I mean. But it wasn't like that. My hometown is the same as it always was. It kindly welcomed me back. That makes it even worse. The warmth of my hometown. It makes me forget my pain and impatience. It feels like I'm gradually being paralyzed. The pain, the importance of the things I'd lost, I'm forgetting them little by little. If I lose that, will I still be me? Yeah. I'm excited to think I could fly in it. I envision myself flying through the air as I look to the night sky. After that, Kotori looks down. Do you have something like that? Something ahead of you, if you quit school and go back to your hometown. Kotori looked at me like she was in shock. She desperately tried to hold back the tears that were welling up and about to fall from her eyes. Whether something lay ahead or not, I realized then that she had a deep conflict within, even more than I thought she had. You don't think there is anything ahead, do you? That's why, if you have nothing left to do, everything is over? If you want a bath, I'll help you get in. If you get a puncture, I'll fix it for you. I'll help you if you need it, so... A tear ran down Kotori's cheek, but it was only a single tear. I went to get the withdrawal notice that I had stuck to the back of the drawer. When I held the withdrawal notice in my hand, the terrible things that I had said to her came to the back of my mind. Do you have something like that? Something ahead of you if you quit school and go back to your hometown. I regret those words as I offer her the withdrawal notice. You dropped this, so I picked it up.
ありがとう。
However, Kotori didn't take it straight away. For her to take that would be for her to decide her own future. But in the end, she reached out her hand. Whoop. I quickly pulled it away and she seemed embarrassed. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna give it back. I held onto it and left the room.
おかえり。晩ご飯できてるよ。
Oh hey, the kitchen is still in one piece.
もう大好評でさ、お鍋丸ごと余っちゃった。これどうしよう。
I mean, at least the kitchen isn't exploded. I walk up beside Kaneko as I make it look like I'm rummaging around the kitchen.
何してんの？
Not long after, Kotori comes into the dining hall.
返して、私の退学届。退学届？
That's too bad. I've already hidden it somewhere else.
なんてことするのよ。
I won't accept it. Just give it another chance.
はあ？意味わかんない。
Feelings that this situation wasn't fair were bubbling up inside me. I know how Kotori feels. It must have been incredibly difficult and it makes me feel a pain in my chest just imagining it. But it's only been 10 days since I came here. I feel like I want to do something for her, but isn't the time that I've been given too short? I get it. I'm just being nosy. I totally get it.
何一人で言ってんの？返しなさいよ。それ私のでしょ。
No way. If you want it back, look for it yourself.
ひどい。さっきまでのしんみりしたちょっといい話っぽい雰囲気は何だったのよ。
The hell if I know.
やっぱりこいついじめっ子だ。
I whistled badly and played dumb.
ちょっとかなこさん。はいよ。こいつがどこに隠したか見てたでしょ。さあどうだったかな。知ってても教えないけど。
Damn, she's on my side.
だって小鳥ちゃんいなくなっちゃうの寂しいんだもん。
Kotori's face has gone red. Looks like her rage gauze has reached max.
バカアホ人手だし。そんなのなくったって退学くらいできるんだからね。
Firing off a few parting shots, Kotori hurries out of the dining hall.
ご飯できてるから後でチンして食べなよ。
The door at the end of the hallway closed with a slam.
でどこに隠したの？
I pulled a piece of paper out from under my shirt.
やるじゃん。
Thanks for your help. Oh boy, the search for the last member. At lunch break, Agaha and I were called to the staff room. It's because we were both absent yesterday. We told the truth and said we were hanging out and got a really severe scolding from our homeroom teacher. Well, that can't be helped. It's a good thing they didn't contact our parents. Agaha isn't her usual cheerful self this morning.
私昨日ひどいこと言っちゃったよね。ついカッとなっちゃってさ。
Don't worry about it. You know, Kotori understood why you did that. Actually, she was regretting it too, the fact that she had an argument with Agaha.
違うの。あの時カッとなったのは多分図星を疲れたからだと思う。八方美人って言われてさ。
You don't kiss up to people though, do you?
どうかな。私ね、仲いい子はたくさんいるけど、葵たちと遊んでた時くらい親友って感じの子は今いないんだ。
Our teacher would beat the shit out of me. I will beat the shit out of my homeroom teacher. Kane will get the joke, hopefully. To be honest, I thought that was a little strange. I'm the same. I got along with everyone in the cycle racing club, but I couldn't talk to them in the same way I could talk to you guys. That is a question of time. I hadn't spent the same amount of time with them. Oh, by the way, Kane, I'm going to send you something on Discord really quick. Because it's actually hilarious. Hold on. Let me find it. So you know like the Hunger Games simulator thing, right? Just go to quickly DM that to you on Discord. Bam. Enjoy that. Alright, where were we? That is a question of time. I haven't spent the same amount of time with them. Me, Agaha, and the others were each other's very first friends, here in this neighborhood, back before I could even remember. If there was anyone else who I got along with... Idiot! Moron! Knucklehead! Suddenly, all those insults spring to mind. Do we really... get along?
先生に頼まれたのも本当だし、みんなの輪に入りやすいようにしてやってくれって言われたの。
Even if you weren't told to, you were worried about Kotori anyway, weren't you?
そのつもりなんだけどさ、自信なくなった。結局、逆効果だったわけだし。
Kotori is taking a day off school today too. Ageha thought it was her fault and was blaming herself. This morning when I woke up, Kotori had already left. There were signs that the kitchen had been messed up and it looked like she had been searching for the withdrawal notice that I hid. Actually, it was in the drawer in my room. It's not your fault that Kotori hasn't come to school.
どうしてそう思うの?
Because it's mine! No, I'm kidding. It's not just what I think, I'm almost completely certain. The truth is... I remembered that we were in the hallway of the school and took a quick look around. There was nobody passing, so I didn't have to worry about anyone hearing. Kotori wants to quit school. From a long time ago, it seems like she had decided before I came back here. Ageha was surprised to hear this out of the blue and didn't say anything. It's not because she argued with the girls in the class, there's a deeper reason for it. I think that it is also the reason for her recent behavior and attitude. Yeah, since she was planning to quit school soon, she thought it would just cause problems for us. Was because you both misunderstood each other. Oop. Agaha takes her unfocused anger out on me by hitting my chest. I only found out by coincidence. Also, ouch! I can't just go around telling other people her secrets, can I? I just picked up the withdrawal notice by coincidence, so I didn't know when she was planning on submitting it, or even if she was really serious about it. I couldn't exactly ask her about it either. I'm sorry, okay, that hurt, seriously, stop punching me! Then, I thought that she didn't want to quit school anymore. She'd been coming to school, helping with the meal preparations at the dormitory, and it looked like she was enjoying herself. I just assumed that everything was okay now. Yeah, sure. In an attempt to offer some comfort to Ageha, who was now crying, I stroked her head. Anyway, today is Friday. It was the deadline of the grace period for gathering club members given to us by the student council vice president Akari Kumoji, or Kumoji. After school, Ageha and I, and then one other person, went to the soaring club's garage. The vice president came to see the four of us one by one, including club leader Amane, as we lined up. A vein was clearly visible on the vice president's temple.
何ですかこの人は。
What do you mean? She's the new member.
新入部員のしぐれかな子です。却下。なんでですか？
Please explain.
そうだそうだ。幽霊部員は認めないと言ったはずです。なんで決めつけるんですか？
This is a tyranny of the student council.
そうだそうだ。私が空に憧れちゃ悪いっての？前科6犯。この人は幽霊部員の常習犯だからです。いやー、秋っぽい性格で。というわけで却下です。いいじゃん。同じクラスのよしみでさ。
You two are in the same class? I guess they are in the same grade.
ねえねえ、あかりちゃん。ベタベタ触らないでください。
She gets rid of Kaneko with a flat refusal. It seems that she's used to dealing with her.
他に部員は？
No.
ということは廃部決定ですね。副会長、これ。
Amane sheepishly passes her a printed out piece of paper. It was the results of the Soaring Club's activities that she had compiled.
どうだろうか。ここ数年でフライトしたのは先日の一度きり。それも授業中という暴挙。大会を目指しているわけでもなく、学園祭にも不参加で作品や研究内容を発表する場も特に設けてはいない。極めて個人的な趣味の範疇ですね。これはいわゆるサークル活動ではありませんか？
Amane?
素直に認めちゃダメです。ダメかな、副会長。どうしても行きたい場所があるんだ。
There was something that sounded like a desperate appeal in Amane's voice.
行きたい場所？イスカと約束したんだ。
I feel like this Iska person is likely the one who wrote in that diary first. Like the one where Kotori started writing in afterwards. Whoever this Iska person was, because it looked like when she first mentioned Iska, I don't know if you guys remember or if you guys were around for it, but Kotori had a pretty interesting reaction to hearing that name. So, just like, shooting things out. The vice president said nothing as she looked at her, as if trying to figure out the true meaning.
そうですね。部員は1人足らず3名。研究発表の場はない。とはいえ。あなたは
The vice president looked as if she was about to say something very important and looked behind us, towards the back of the garage.
ハバネさん。
There was Kotori. She had entered at some point,
返すものがあって。
she said to Amane.
私にかい？
But Kotori did not come towards us. Next to the glider with the sheet removed, she was looking down slightly at something on her lap. Amane walked over to her.
なんだい？これが完成すれば雲の上に行けるの？
Kotori looked at the white, sleek aircraft. And then she held out the thing that was on her lap, a photograph.
ここに行けるの？これは。
When Amane saw it, she was wide-eyed with surprise.
写真どこで？
Tears welled up in her eyes.
何なの？
I don't know. Ageha and I walked over there to take a look at the photograph that Kotori was holding. It was a photograph of clouds. I'm gonna screenshot this. Oh. I didn't mean to do that. No. Oh god. Not at all. I just wanted to screenshot that. It was a photograph of clouds. Guess who's gonna do some Photoshop work on that? Oh, look at those clouds! That one's charging limit over there. That one's using cross slash. A sunset dyed in indigo and orange. Or was it sunrise? This is a 4-way cloud ditto. In the beautifully colored, clear morning glow was a huge row of clouds, which looked just like a passage extending across the sky. This must be the passage of clouds. Yeah. Agaha and I, Kaneko and the vice president, were all fascinated by the miraculous spectacle shown in the photograph. Kotori asked again. For a moment, I couldn't make the mental connection between the question and the view in the photograph. That was because it was a place too far away to be associated with the word go. This place. Riding this glider. As I look at the photograph, I envisioned the white aircraft without an engine flying across the sky that I remember being so graceful, great and solemn. That really was a miraculous sight. All of us, even Akari, held our breath as we waited for Amane's answer. Can it go to this place? She murmured as she took the photograph and looked at it nostalgically. Amane, who had just until now had tears in her eyes, smiled happily as she said that name. We did it! She spoke with both fear and a lack of confidence in her voice. However, in her eyes seemed to be a strong determination. When Amane saw those eyes, she answered. We did it! See? I knew it would work out. We found the last member. And the club is not getting repealed. I met the sky and yearned for it. Alright, here's going to see if it like crashes. I hope the game doesn't crash. It crashed when I was doing Nekopara. But yo, look at this. I was wearing that shirt the last time I streamed this, by the way. I don't think anyone noticed because I didn't pull it up, but I was wearing something like that. Yeah. Ah, there's my favorite character. Ageha Himegi. Perfect sky. I'm literally about to download this at the end of the stream. This is what falling in love is about, without a doubt. Hey, I got an achievement for that. And the game didn't crash. Let's go. Kaneko is best girl.
ありがとう。手を離してもらえるかしら。別に不機嫌になってなんかいないわ。ちょっと考え事していただけよ。ねえ、かなこさん。はいよ。あの転校生、何者なの？寮母さん？寮母？うん、いい子だよ。惚れた？バカはおっしゃい。転校してきたばかりで、あの人間嫌いの望月先輩にうまく取り入って抜け目ない男だと思っただけよ。それ褒めてんの？ええ、そう。
Huh. For now, the number of members needed for the club had been reached and the vice president left the garage, together with Kaneko. The rest of us continued to look at the photograph that Kotori had brought. But these clouds are a very unusual shape.
こんな雲見たことない。そうだろうな。この雲が出現したのは君たちや私が生まれるより前のことだ。私たちが生まれる前。
What on earth is this photograph? It was a really beautiful photograph. However, it was the same as the pictures in old photo albums, the sort that you would take to the Photoshop to have developed and was printed on paper with logos on the back.
これはモーニンググローリーと呼ばれる現象だ。ある特殊な条件下で起こるとされている。モーニンググローリー？さらに何キロにもわたって雲の道ができる。
A path of clouds like this, several kilometers long. That's like a typical Smash 4 bracket. You have cloud in round 1, next you have cloud in round 2, cloud in round 3, cloud in winter semis, cloud in winter's finals. So let's go. The path of clouds.
とても珍しい現象で、一番最近起こったのが今から26年前。
And it said that the cloud that you'll encounter in grand finals goes by the name Kozashi.
その時、当時のソアリング部の人たちがグライダーで飛び、この写真を撮影したんだ。じゃあ
This photo was taken in Kazugara?
うん、そうだわ。撮影したのここの OB？ ああ、そうだ。
To think that this amazing spectacle occurred right here in my hometown, and the person who took the photograph was a member of the club to which I now belong. Even though the thing that I thought was so far away has now become a lot closer, it doesn't seem real somehow. I think that I felt something along the lines of, dude, that's amazing. If my heart had wings is a perfect example to why cloud maids are so successful, because they ride on an engineless plane carrying them to victory. Exactly.
ちょっと待って。
Her face looked like she was about to say, I've just realized something really important. What is it?
さっきグライダーで飛んで撮影したって言いました？言ったぞ。フライトログにそう書いてある。ってことは
Agaha and I take another look at the photograph. If you wanted to take a photograph from above the clouds at the very least, the camera would have to be in a position higher than the clouds. Did the glider actually fly this high?
そうなるな。物的証拠も目の前にある。
Agaha and I turned to look at the white aircraft. I don't know how many meters it was, and this wasn't just imagination, but when I picture actually flying this thing above the clouds, it looks kind of unreliable.
私がこの学校へ来る以前にソアリング部は廃部になり、設備だけがここに残されていた。この写真もここに残されていたものなんだが。
Amadi takes a photograph in her hand and squints her eyes with nostalgia.
イスカはここへ行きたがってた。私とイスカは この場所を目指してグライダー製作を始めたんだ。
Iska. There's that name again. Whenever Amani says that name, she becomes very nostalgic. Who is this Iska person?
これ
Yep, here we go. While we were talking, Kotori was listening quietly, but then held out a notebook to Amane. I thought I had seen it somewhere before. It was a notebook with the things I want to do list.
その写真はこれに挟まっていたの。これはイスカの高校日誌じゃないか。どうして君がこれを持っているんだ？
So Iska stayed at the Flying Fish Manor.
寮の私の部屋にあったの。
She was the older tenant, I guess. I'm sorry, Bouncing Fish Manor.
寮の部屋。もしかして君はトビウオ層に住んでいるのか？
A little surprised to hear that name all of a sudden, Kotori nodded.
棚の隙間に隠してあったの。中は日記みたいだった。グライダーのこととあなたのことが書いてあったわ。私？そう、多分。だってあなたイスカの親友なんでしょ？
For some reason, Amane didn't answer and looked at the worn cover of the notebook.
それを読んで私グライダーに興味を持つようになったの。翼だけで風に乗って空を飛ぶ、まるで鳥のような飛行機。そんなので雲の上を目指すなんてすごいって思った。でももっとずっと昔のことだと思ってたから。日記の日付だとイスカたちはもうとっくに卒業してるはずだし、まだ続けてるなんて思ってもみなかった。
But if you were interested in gliders, why didn't you come to check out the soaring club? I asked in a light-hearted manner. Actually, she was so interested in them that just looking at a real glider makes her eyes sparkle with wonder. The owner of the diary might no longer be around, though. Kotori held tightly to the hem of her skirt. Listening to her words, I felt a dull pain coming from my right knee, somewhere that she couldn't enter. That's what she believed, and that's why she didn't try to find out about the current status of the soaring club. It might have been similar to me, after I injured my knee and tried to avoid hearing any information about the cycle racing club. The more I knew, the more envious I would become. That was the time that Kotori and I had first met. In that peaceful landscape, Kotori watched the white aircraft flying over with such enthusiasm. When Amane heard Kotori's story, she took a deep breath. Amane put the book on the table but didn't read it straight away and instead went to boil some water in the electric kettle first. Then she prepared the tea set. When the pleasant aroma of the tea started to fill the air, Amane sat down and finally turned to the first page. Her cheeks went slightly pink and her eyes seemed kind of nervous. Amane's eyes moved from left to right across the page, slowly, carefully. It felt to me that she was digesting it one letter at a time. She took a sip of the boiling tea. She placed the cup back on the saucer and then turned to the next page. She began to smile. Maybe something fun was written there. She giggled as if she had become lost in memories. The nervousness that was in her eyes when reading the first page had disappeared. Yeah. It was a calm and happy smile. Or so we thought. Then, looking at the next page, she opened her eyes wide. There must be something surprising written on that page. From the look on her face, she seemed taken aback as she continued to read. After that, Amane's expression continued to change as she turned the pages. She smiled, seemed surprised, looked troubled, appeared to be sulking, and then smiled again.
ねえ、どんなことが書いてあったの？ソアリング部の活動記録よ。と言っても、そのほとんどがただの日記だけど、イスカが大親友とどんな風に毎日を過ごしたか、それが汚い字と読みにくい文章で書いてあった。天音先輩の大親友か。イスカさんってどんな人だったの？
50 Shades of Amane? Oh no.
かなり変な子よ。いたずらして誰かを驚かせたり、寮の食堂でパイ投げやったり。
Kane, did you miss that movie sequence? That was actually really legit. But when you read it, it had an effect on you, didn't it?
うん。楽しそうだったの。すごく。
We could tell by the look on Amane's face that Isuka's flight log was full of funny stories. It was also proof that the time they spent together was equally fun. When she reached what was probably the last page of the diary, Amane had tears in her eyes. As Amane smiled nostalgically, a clear drop ran down from the corner of her squinted eye.
何か悲しいことが書いてあったのかな。
But she's smiling.
西は途中で終わってるわ。最後に書いてあったのはあれよ。やっておきたいこと。
The page that we were looking at?
雲の回廊を渡りたい。
Amane mumbled in a quiet voice before bursting into tears, while still smiling. She must have been smiling because she was happy. Then the tears must have been because it was all in the past. Just looking at her made me feel a terrible pain inside, like my chest was closing up. After reading the last page, she closed the notebook and then went back to the first page. This is now the third time. Even so, she reads it with the same happiness, surprise, worry, and nostalgia as if she were reading it for the first time. We quietly watched her as she repeated this again and again. The tea that she has only taken one sip from would definitely have been cold by now, but it looked like she had totally forgotten about it. Yeah, you're right. There are so many things I want to talk to her about, but it doesn't feel like now is a good time to speak. As we leave the garage, the sky is filled with the colors of sunset. With a deeper red than sunrise, the darkness of night approached from the eastern sky. Yeah. Ageha seemed to be saying, I'm itching to go. I felt the same way. You don't seem that busy either. It should be okay, right? Even if she is also in another club, it's great that she's here. Sorry for all the trouble. Bam! Ageha gives me a punch in the shoulder and turns around to Kotori, who had left a little later but was following us. Pa! Ageha bowed her head with great momentum. Look at how wholesome she is. Kotori glanced at me. She must have realized that I had told Ageha about her wanting to quit school and so on. Kotori turns her head sideways in an aloof manner as she speaks. I storm over towards Kotori and... whack. Whoa. I gave her a karate chop to the top of her head. From now on, every time you take that kind of attitude, I'm gonna give you a chop. Kotori reeled back. Then she looked at me with eyes like a demon or an ogre.
こいつのどこにそんな権限が。
Come on now, you've got something to say, haven't you?
ごめんなさい。私も言い過ぎたわ。
There we go.
あなたは八方美人なんかじゃない。ちょっとうざいくらい親切なだけよ。うざ。
Whack.
ちょっと痛いじゃないの。
If it didn't hurt, you wouldn't remember. She looked at me with anger in her eyes as she rubbed the top of her head, did that sideways aloof face thing, and pushed her wheelchair along.
あかんべー。すごいね、葵。ハバネさんみたいな美少女にチョップかますなんて。
Agaha's a little stunned as she speaks.
じゃあ私行くね。早いとこハバネさんを追っかけてやって。
Yeah, see ya.
またね。
Agaha, who looks like she's skipping as she walks, turns to head towards the school building. But she stopped halfway.
明日から面白くなりそう。
She called out in a big voice. Alright, night Shelby. Take care. I caught up with Kotori, who had a meek expression on her face as she quietly pushed her wheelchair along. You want me to push you?
いい。
I don't know how tiring it is to push a wheelchair along, but if I tried to travel the same distance I would normally walk by using my hands, I would definitely find it tiring. I went behind her and pushed the wheelchair.
いいって言ってるのに。
I told you that I'd help you, didn't I? I'm not gonna do it all the time, but when my hands are empty, you can rely on me.
だってそうしてもらう理由がないもん。
Yes, there is.
どこに？
Because we're friends. I felt a little embarrassed as I said that. I think that if I hadn't been facing her back at the time, I wouldn't have been able to say that.
いつそんな友達になったって言うのよ。
Yesterday we were hanging out, weren't we? That means we're already friends, right? Generally speaking, it wouldn't be incorrect to say so. Kotori stays tight-lipped and doesn't answer. For a while, we don't say anything as we follow the route back.
聞かないの？どうして私が残る気になったのか。
I don't know if I want to ask or not. The main thing is the fact that you are staying.
あの退学届、もうしばらく預かっててくれない？
Sure. So she's not going to throw it away?
私にとってはここが最後の砦。あの先輩みたいにいつまで踏みとどまれるかわからないけど、もう少しここにいたいの。でも私って時々弱気になるから、こう見えて結構あるのよ、そういうとこ。
Seems like she's trying to say, I may be a tough girl, but you just look like a crybaby. If I said that, she'd just get mad, so I keep quiet.
だからあなたに持っててほしいの。ダメかな。
She suddenly seemed to lose her resolve, and she turns around to glance at me. Why me? That question comes to mind, but I don't say anything. I think the fact that it was me makes me quite happy, to be honest. That's fine, but I have one condition.
何？
Kotori puts her guard up. She looks as though she thinks I have another crazy demand to make. You talk to me like I'm a stranger. I want you to use my name more. You always refer to me as you or him, but I want you to call me Aoi. We're friends now. Would that be a problem? Don't you think of me as your friend? I'm a little anxious as I ask her.
そんなことない。私でもあなたなんかあなたじゃなくて葵くん。
See? It seems weird. Please understand, she seemed to say as she bent forward. Kotori, Why do you find it so strange to say my name? Well, never mind. Come on, let's go, Miss Habane.
下の名前でいい。そっちのがいい。
Okay, let's go, Kotori. Kotori had a look on her face that indicated a complex mix of emotions, awkward and shy at the same time. We'll definitely go there, above the clouds. There are wispy clouds in the sunset sky. From now on, whenever we look up at the sky, we'll be thinking about this. I'm gonna fly. My heart was beating frighteningly quickly. Yeah, she's still reading that. It's night! It's night! She's still reading that diary!
雲の回廊を渡りたいか。いつか君はいつも言ってたな。真っ暗だ。いつの間に夜になったんだろう。
Clatter.
紅茶が冷めてしまった。みんなはもう帰ったのか。もうここでは続けられないかと思っていた。いつか君がつなげてくれたんだな。あの子たちをここへ連れてきてくれた。
It looks like I can keep going. Just a little longer until the end of this summer. Alright, I still have time. I'll do one more segment, so to speak. There's no need to rush. I had just finished at the cash register at the convenience store, and then I went after Kotori, who had left first and had a convenience store bag on her lap. Then I hold on to the grip of the wheelchair. Let's go, Kotori. Hold on tight. Following Kotori's command, I pushed the wheelchair forward at breakneck speed. Huff, puff, huff, puff. Okay, I'm completely fine. I push out my chest to try and show that I'm okay, but I can't hide the fact that I'm out of breath. My stamina's gotten worse. I've been pushing the wheelchair while running up until now, but I was reminded of how much my stamina had decreased. She couldn't help but notice, so Kotori took a sports drink out of the convenience store bag.
Hi, Aoi-kun.
Thanks. My knee? Yeah, no problem. I think. According to the doctor, I shouldn't have any difficulty with everyday life. The problem is whether or not this is the normal level of everyday activity or not. Hey, I take things all the way. Since this morning, I had been in high spirits and the effect hadn't worn off yet for some reason. It's because our club activities were finally about to start. Today is Saturday, a day off, but we intentionally got up early and came to school. You're right. As I speak, I move the bottle up to my mouth. I've been sweating a lot, so my body quickly absorbs the water. Wait, I'm sorry. Hold on. There we go. From out of nowhere, Agiha appeared right next to me. It's nothing. No big deal. Kotori seems a little embarrassed as Agiha speaks to her. You got here first? Wow, you got here before me? Is that so? I didn't realize.
車椅子をして走る人なんて初めて見たよ。葵くん、私先に行くね。
Kotori was being careful around Nageha, and she spoke like she was uncomfortable as she went on ahead. Rather than being annoyed, she seemed more embarrassed than anything. I think Nageha understands that too, but...
葵くん?
What?
別に。それじゃ私も先に行こうっと。じゃあね、葵くん。
Seeming like she'd had enough of talking to me, Ageha also went on ahead. Hey wait, Ageha! I chased after the two of them and we head to the garage. What's up? Amari was already inside the garage. Amari was making a serious face in front of the drawing board. She's really concentrating and hasn't noticed us. For a moment, I wasn't sure if I should call out to her, but if we don't say anything, how many hours would she be doing that for? Hi there, Amane. What's up, Amane? Ageha and Kotori copy the greeting that I use. From today, we'll do our best. Amane points at me and makes a troubled face. That's right, I never once told her my name, even though we'd met several times. Aoi Minase, 2nd grade, Class A. I give a very sharp self-introduction and the others do likewise.
葵、アゲハ、小鳥。
She confirms our faces and names in order.
私は5年 C 組、D 組だったかな。望月天音だ。
Doesn't even remember what class she's in. She misses so many lessons, she doesn't even know which class she's in, it seems.
昨日はありがとう。君たちのおかげでまだここにいられる。
We are somehow very grateful to hear these words of thanks from Amane. Is it really alright for us to join? She was unsure as to whether she would accept new members. Had she found the answer she was looking for then?
君たちを歓迎するよ。ソワリング部へようこそ。
I don't know what she was worrying about, or how she arrived at her answer, but it somehow seemed that there was no problem with us joining the club.
じゃあよろしく。
She said that like she was just throwing it out there before returning to the drawing board. She stares at the diagram with a serious look on her face. Amane?
なんだい?
What should we be doing?
ああ、そうだったな。お茶でも飲んでくつろいでいてくれ。そこの棚に漫画もあるぞ。
On that shelf was every volume of Slam Dunk? That's an actual series, isn't it? I think my sister... I hate how that always pulls up the menu. The covers were faded and it seemed like they'd seen many years of service. The two girls both make faces that say, "This isn't what I thought it would be like." My face might have been the same.
何かすることはないの？だから漫画でも読んで。そうじゃなくって、グライダーのこと。え？
We really want to get involved with the glider. Amade opened her eyes wide.
そうなのか。 変わってるな、君たち。
I don't want to hear that from you. Amane, could it be that we are in your way by joining the club? She didn't want anyone coming near this garage, did she?
そんなことはないぞ。ただ、今まで一人でやってたから勝手がわからないんだ。
When Amane was within one step of the national championship with the robot club, it seemed she did most of that by herself.
典型的な集団生活が苦手なタイプね。
You're a fine one to talk.
はーい。質問いいですか？
Ageha raised her hand.
どうぞ。ここって具体的にはどんな活動をするクラブなんですか？
Ageha asks a fundamental question. I feel like she has been asked a similar question before, but at that time she was only asked for a summary. If we're actually going to take part in this club, we need her to tell us more specific information.
だな。グライダーを製作し、飛ばす。
Tobas. That's it. I think everyone knows that already.
作るのと飛ばすの、どっちが主体なんですか？グライダー作ったら普通は飛ばすんじゃないの？
But you're not aiming to enter competitions or anything, are you?
目指さない。
She answered bluntly and without even a shred of interest.
じゃあ作る方が主体なんですか？違うわ。だってあの雲の上まで飛ぶのが目的なんだもの。そうよね。
Amane somehow lacks confidence when she nods.
グライダーはどこまでできてるんですか？先日ようやく組み上がってテストフライトしたんだが。
As Amane explained, she moves to inside the garage.
主翼が折れてしまった。
In the corner of the garage were the broken wings.
強度が不足していたらしい。今設計から見直しているとこなんだが。
Looking at the twisted wings, Amane lets out a little groan.
強度計算をやり直しているが、今のところミスが見当たらない。理由がわからなくて困っているんだ。
If Amane doesn't understand, there's no way we will. I thought to myself as Ageha got close to Amane and checked the broken parts of the main wings. Then,
ああ、こりゃ折れるわ。
she stated simply,
どうしてわかるんだ？だってほらここ厚みがバラバラだし、ところどころ歪んでる。そうかな。
You see, my girl Ageha, she's also got the brains.
後方が雑だから接合部が負荷に耐えきれず割れちゃったんですよ。
That's my girl. Amane reels in shock.
そうだったのか。
And then,
私は手先が不器用だからな。
she becomes timid. You made this by hand, piece by piece?
すべてを私がやったわけじゃないが、機体そのものは手作りだ。これ手作りなんだ。
Kotani and I were pretty surprised by this, but Ageha didn't seem to make much of a big deal about it.
そうか。雑か。
雑か。
雑か。
そっか、雑か。It's no good. She's totally depressed.
葵くんが手に入れてくれた部品のおかげでケーキの不調は直すことができた。主翼さえ修理できればまたテストができるんだがな。
Are you going to do the wing repairs by hand too?
もちろんだ。
Ageha takes a part of the wing that isn't snapped and checks it over with a troubled look on her face.
こりゃ翼は一から作り直した方がいいんじゃないかな。でないと多分他のところも折れますよ。
Amane looks like she's going to cry. Alright then, we'll help.
これ FRP ですよね。それなら私やったことあるし、なんとかなるんじゃないかな。すぐ取り掛かりましょうよ。その方が早く飛べるんでしょ。
The motivation of the 3 new members has returned, and now we feel excited about it.
そうしたいのは山々だが、残念ながら素材がない。補修用にいくらかはあるが、この大きさのものを新たに作り直すとなると、かなりの量を必要になりますよね。普段はどうやって調達してるんですか？通販だ。
Amade goes to the mail order materials website on the laptop connected to the internet.
主翼を作り直すなら、だいたいこのくらいは必要だな。
Said Amade as she entered a number.
いえ、こりゃとてもじゃないけど部費じゃ賄えないでしょう。
Club budget. I don't know how much the budget is for the Soaring Club, but the price displayed on the mail order site's input page was no small amount.
問題ないだろう。
Amade completed the order.
いいんですか、先輩？ああ、このくらいの金額なら全然平気だ。
Oh, we got a rich girl, I think. What do you mean, no problem? Could it be that when it comes to the club budget, the Soaring Club gets preferential treatment?
届くのはしばらく先か。制作作業はそれからだね。
Which means that we don't have anything to do after all.
それまで私らは何をしていればいいの？漫画でも読んでいて。
漫画だ。またまた漫画です。With that order, the Soaring Club leader went back to staring at the design she was working on. Even if we say we've got nothing to do, it's not like there is nothing whatsoever for us to do. We were still beginners when it came to gliders, so we took some books from the shelf and started our own little study session. Aerodynamics, glider construction, and so on. As for the basics of how aircraft fly, we were told that before by Amane. In terms of the various methods of creating what is known as lift, the more we found out, the more interesting it became. And then, it was noon.
おいしい。おいしい。久しぶりのカロリー摂取だ。
また。Amade was already enjoying eating the bread and rice balls that Kotori and I had bought at the convenience store this morning. Just for reference, I'd like to ask you, how long has it been since you last ate?
46時間ぶりだな。その時は学食のカツ丼を食べた。大盛りだ。これも食べる
？Out of pity, Kotori offered Amane her pickled plum rice ball.
ありがとう。豪快な食べっぷりだね。
Witnessing the Amane Mochizuki style eating techniques for the first time, Ageha is, as expected, pretty freaked out. It could be because the image of the beautiful and mysterious senior student that Ageha had been holding on to was being completely destroyed. By the way, because we've had club activities from the morning, Ageha has brought a lunchbox. Are there any other parts that we need? I asked Amane once she had calmed down after her meal.
一つだけあるかな。何ですか？どうしても手に入らなくて、実はすごく困っている。
From the way she said it, we all get into position to listen seriously to her story.
何なの？それ、パイロットだ。
Let me on board. When Amane said this, she made a facial expression she would use if this were on TV, looking straight at the camera. Aren't you going to fly it?
こないだ飛んでたし。私は下手だからな。この前も危うく着陸に失敗して尾翼を痛めるところだった。本当だ。お尻こすった跡がある。私は運動神経にはあまり自信がないんだ。
Hang on. Could you come here for a second? I call Amane over to an open space. Please try to do some repeated side jumps. Amane tried some repeated side jumps like I asked. Yeah, ew. It's supposed to be repeated side jumps, but each time the number of steps is different and sometimes she turns her body. It should be just moving quickly from side to side, but it looks like some kind of terrible dancing! Yabai. Without thinking, we all murmured in unison. It didn't seem that motor skills were that important for piloting a glider, but that level of clumsiness could make things pretty dangerous. Or acrophobia. Then why the hell is she making a glider? In other words, she's been trying really hard. Oh, that's enough of the repeated side jumps. Amane wipes the sweat from her forehead. She's a beautiful girl, so at least she is able to do those kinds of movements well. Suddenly, Kotori raised her hand. As Kotori vigorously volunteered, Amane made a troubled face. There are pedals in the cockpit. If you can't push them, you can't pilot it. Kotori moved back, dejected. Ageha, who is looking inside the aircraft's cockpit, sounds like she's talking about someone else. That leaves one person. I want to do it. If it's motor skills we're talking about, I'm fairly confident. I got this. They call me Falco. Yes. And that is how I suddenly came to be the pilot. After club activities had finished, I returned to the dormitory. Come on, cheer up. Ever since it was decided that I would be the pilot, Kotori has been feeling down like this. Just because you can't pilot it doesn't mean that you can't fly. That glider is a double-seater. There are two types of glider cockpits, single-seater and double-seater. The single-seater fits one person, while the double-seater fits two. Once I am able to fly, you're the first person I'm taking with me. Good. Alright, let's prepare for dinner. Hello, we're back! I push the wheelchair as we go into the entranceway. Kaneko, thank you so much for yesterday. Your sister? Damn, is that your sister? Hey, bud. As we enter the dining hall with the force of the Saint Bernard from the other day, an unknown girl came flying out to hug Kotori. Take a random screenshot of that. I get it. The system doesn't pull up if I have the menu down. Kotori's older sister burst into tears as she held her and rubbed her cheeks against hers. So her name is Hibari. Noted. Realizing that she was suffocating her younger sister, she let go of Kotori. Who is she? Kotori introduced us in a way that implied I don't like doing introductions. Yeah, hurry up with the introduction. Nice to meet you. I'm Aoi Minase, the current dorm mother. I bowed my head, and Kotori's sister stood up quickly and straightened out her messed up clothes. Yeah, can we just take a moment to appreciate her clothes? I like the pig. She seems very proud to say that she is Kotori's older sister. Yeah, look at that, she cross-eyed. She's actually cross-eyed. I can't even do that. She gave a deep bow and passed me something wrapped in the paper of a famous Japanese sweet shop. Thank you very much. I was surprised at first, but she seems like a perfectly sensible person. She's gentle and seems like a nice... though a little different to her younger sister. Kotori rushes straight to the fridge. You can eat that after dinner. No. While Kotori had the fridge open and was rummaging around inside, her sister went over to her. The boarders are outside the dining hall. Hibari breathes a sigh of relief. Oh yeah, she said just now that she was working away from Japan. Kaneko said before that her sister hadn't been here for a while, but... that was the reason why? Where did you go? Damn! All the languages. I don't really get it, but that's amazing. she said while clinging onto Kotori.
ねえ、本当は何があったの？お姉ちゃんにみんな聞かせてちょうだい。もういいって、大したことじゃないの。2ヶ月遅れの5月病みたいなもんよ。
Hibari looked at me with tearful eyes. She was trying to say that if I knew anything, I should spill the beans. I think that everything's okay with Kotori. Today, she went to do club activities even though we had a day off school. We're in the soaring club, right, Kotori?
ソアリング部？何かしらそれ。それは。
Have you heard of gliders? Well, it's like an airplane. It's used to fly through the sky.
空を？違うの、ヒバリね。私は飛ばないから。っていうか飛べないし。今日もお前じゃダメだって言われたばっかだし。
As Kotori desperately tries to cover it up, she glares at me to give me a signal. That's right, we don't just fly, we build gliders and so on. I don't really know why, but I follow her lead.
そう。だから心配しないで。
Hibari looked like she'd accepted it for the first time being, and didn't pursue the issue any further. Hibari looked like she'd accepted it for the time being and didn't pursue the issue any further. Kotori seemed relieved. It was like there was some reason why she shouldn't be doing club activities. Anyway, something smells good. Since just now, a smell that stimulated my hunger had been drifting through the air.
パエリアを作ってたんです。出張先で教えてもらったの。
Alright, I'm gonna look this up actually. What is paella? Whatever that is. I'm gonna quickly look that up. Oh, it looks like some type of rice. There's like shrimp. Oh, that does look good. I don't know if I can pull it up on stream. But, yeah, this is paella. I mean, I suppose I could quickly switch to monitor capture. Monitor capture. There we go. Whoa, okay. There, right here, is the paella, it looks like. So this is what she's talking about. She cooks something like this. It looks good. I mean, supposedly I'm allergic to some types of seafood, but... Alright, let's go back to the window capture. Whoa.
皆さんの分ありますから、どうぞ召し上がってくださいね。
Hibari's home cooking was superb. Paella is Spanish-style cooked rice with shrimp and shellfish, and it was quite refined, so it went down really well with the borders. Alright, so they explained it anyway. That's hilarious. Also, after the main course was dessert, which was sweet bean jelly from a famous Japanese sweet shop. It was perfect. Apparently, Hibari had been visiting Bouncing Fish Manor since a while back and had been making food for Kotori and the other boarders. Since she was coming to help the disabled Kotori, she had been given special permission to come at any time by the owner-caretaker. Thanks to her, the level of satisfaction with tonight's dinner was exceptionally high. You seem very familiar with Hibari. At the dinner table, Hibari was very open with not only her sister, but with all of the other boarders.
そうだね。小鳥ちゃんがだからお姉さんなりに気を使ってるんじゃないかな。
I guess that when she says like that, she's not talking about her disability. She means her personality.
お土産、絶対みんなの分買ってきてくれるしね。
She's got such a cute little sister. She can't help but want to take care of her. While we speak, Hibari pushes Kotori and her wheelchair out of the dining hall. Thank you for the meal, Hibari. Even though she had only just gotten back from an overseas business trip, she's got a lot of energy about her, despite her pretty and petite appearance. No, I can do that. She says it like it was all her doing. Kotori must also be proud of her sister. Kotori, give me a hand later, okay? You ate that delicious food too, didn't you? For some reason, Kotori's reaction seems a little cuter than usual. It must be her sister's influence. Together with her sister acting downhearted, Kotori headed to the bathroom. As I watched them leave like that, I remember that Kotori was desperately trying to cover up the fact that she's in the soaring club just now. It must be because her family would worry if she were to do anything dangerous. It seemed very unnatural to me, and it played on my mind a little. Alright. I mean, I still have like 10 minutes, but I'm actually going to call it for now, right here. We finished up with another major segment, and that's kind of the objective I had in mind. So I am going to pop a save. Remember that I used 16. And yeah, I'm going to call the stream for now, so thanks to everyone who stopped by, even if just for a bit. You know, it's always appreciated. Again, I'm really enjoying this game, like very much so. It definitely has something great going for it, and it does seem like it's going to be a long one, but again, that's another thing I guess to appreciate about some visual novels. And it's definitely heading in a really good direction. Like, I'm definitely really looking forward to seeing how things go in terms of the glider, the progression of the soaring club, and finding out more about why Kotori seems to be very adamant about hiding the fact that she's in the soaring club. Like, I'm sure it has to be a deeper reason than just, oh, her family is worried about her doing something dangerous. Like, I feel like there's something deeper. And I've called a lot of things right so far. Granted, it was like painfully obvious, but yeah, definitely looking forward to how the rest of this game plays out. Again, I haven't really, like, even up until now, I really haven't been given any dialogue choices or anything, like any super big choices, so I don't know exactly when that's going to happen. But again, as a visual novel, I'm sure it will happen, because I've seen some of the achievements, and there is a Kotori ending, there's an Ageha ending. So, again, like, this is blind, so it might be that the game railroads you first into Kotori's, and then you have to play through again for a different ending. I don't know if that's the case, or if it's just going to be, like, a branch decision somewhere along the line. And I don't know if there's, like, several decisions you need to make, or just like one big one, but that's all stuff that we'll be finding out later on as we go through. But of course, as I said, I want to keep my stream content with at least some level of variety, so next time I'll go back to streaming Twilight Princess as I was streaming yesterday, which again, if you missed, the VOD will be up for about another 60 days, so feel free to get to that if you haven't already and you are interested. I know a lot of people liked that game, perhaps even grew up playing it. I definitely made several playthroughs of that game, so definitely check that out. Maybe tomorrow, but hold on. But yeah, that should wrap things up for tonight. Whoops. Let me pull up that. And that will wrap up this stream. Thanks again, everyone. This has been Kyo, and this has been If My Heart Had Wings. Catch you all next time for Twilight Princess.